Hey everybody, this is Andy from Tennis Euphoria, and I've hit with loads of rackets over the last few years, and there are a few that I just can't bring myself to sell on. One of those is the Head Extreme Tour. You can see my review about that racket and the MP version on the channel. But one of the reasons that I couldn't get rid of the Extreme Tour is that I thought it was good, but it also really fascinated me. So in the Extreme line, this Extreme Tour was a new version with a 98 square inch head, a little bit different to Extreme rackets in the past, and also different to the others compared in the line. And I enjoyed playing with it because it offers a good amount of control with a relatively sort of closely spaced 16 by 19 string pattern and a thinner beam compared to the rest of the Extreme line. But then it also gives you some of the characteristics that you get from those kind of tweener rackets with its spin grommets and its shaft design. Also felt at the time that it was a good platform racket. It was probably a little bit underweight and a little bit unstable at times, but you always felt that it was a racket that could play really well with some basic customization. And then Lorenzo Musetti comes on the scene. And from what I understand, he plays with this Extreme Tour, pretty much this version too. It's possibly a little bit more flexible. And it dawned on me that with some real easy customization, you could actually take the Extreme Tour to his specs and see how it played. So that's what I did. Now, from what I've researched, Musetti's is taken up to a 320 gram unstrung weight. Now, if you buy an Extreme Tour, the easiest way of doing this, whilst also getting to the balance point that you want, I found was by adding a leather grip and then adding some weight at 3 and 9. Now, this really helped the playability of the racket, but also by counterbalancing that 3 and 9 weight with the leather grip, you're also, as long as you're careful, can get to the balance point, which is 320, according to reports online. And I think that works really well with the racket because you want to maintain that kind of fast, whippy feel through the air. Musetti strings his racket with head links in the mains, 1.25 gauge, and either head hawk or head hawk rough, I suspect, from looking at video clips. Again, 1.25 gauge, and he reportedly strings at 24 kgs or 53 pounds. So that's what I did. I would head links in the mains, head hawk in the crosses, both at 53 pounds. Little bit of playing around with the lead, but took it up to that 320 gram unstrung weight, and then managed to, after strings getting in there, maintain that balance point. And it plays really well. Really enjoy playing with this racket with these customizations. You do retain all of those characteristics that make the Extreme Tour really interesting. You get a little bit more spin, a little bit more pop than your control rackets, but then you do get good directional control, little bit stiff. It's not that sort of buttery feel that you get, but for the modern game, I think it has a real place, and I'm not surprised that Musetti is using it. Certainly for me, the specs now are quite similar to my racket of choice, the Head Graphene 360 Plus Prestige MP. And I have to say that I probably have a little bit more confidence playing with my customized Extreme when I'm playing against players who I feel are heavier hitting or better than me, because I just feel it helps me out a little bit more and gives me a little bit more penetration, plow through and pop on my shots, but I still can look to dictate play a bit. And if you can get hold of one, so I think supply is a challenge, looking around online, you can get hold of the Extreme Tour pretty cheap at the moment. The cheapest I found it was at the LTA British Tennis Shop. So leather grip, roughly £10, about £111 for the racket. Getting it strung, I string, so that's not a concern for me, but probably £135, £140 you could get yourself the Musetti experience, and I think it's a great experience, so maybe give it a go. If you do, love to know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video. Next up for the review is the quite interesting Prince Synergy 98 and the Dunlop CX200 Tour 18 by 20. So if those rackets are of interest, subscribe to the channel so that you know when they come out. See you soon.